they're going out to tackle Michael. What?
Michael Miles.
I don't know why I can't say it.
Jessica, do a funny Photoshop for Michael Miles. What would Michael Miles look like? Show me that, Jessica. I have confidence in you. Oh, hi, Crystal.
Oh, hi, Tony.
And just Crystal? Only Crystal.
Johanna? Justin, Karen?
Wow, what a change. Seems kind of weird it took this long to get to this. What's wrong with me? Okay. Crystal,
it's going to be a really boring episode, guys.
Yeah. I'm in a bad mood, Crystal.
Why?
I'm very sad.
Why are you sad? You're sad and mad?
I'm sad and mad. And it's because I always get sad around Halloween. I don't know if I ever told you this, but when I was in high school, I was babysitting some kids. And this woman in a white mask and a mechanic's jumpsuit tried to murder me. And she killed some of my friends.
Oh, no.
And she injured me. And then later that night, I went to the hospital. Oh. And then she stalked me at the hospital. And then her psychiatrist blew her up in the hospital. I think there were other patients, so there definitely was a maternity ward. So I don't know how the babies survived that explosion.
I don't think babies no, they wouldn't know.
You know what was weird when this lady who was trying to kill me blew up?
Yeah.
She suddenly had a fire retardant suit on. I don't know how she got it on, but then she died. And
so she was wearing mechanics and then a fire. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. It was really weird. She sounds like a
magician.
And then I found out that woman was my long-lost sister. And that I was adopted. It was news to me.
That's a lot to go through.
That's a lot. It gets worse.
How?
Well, I had a kid, right? And then I was so scared. Oh, by the way, the woman who, my secret evil sister, she was in a coma.
Oh.
I know what you're thinking. Didn't they blow up and burn to death? But they got better.
Oh.
You know what's weird?
Did the babies get better?
I don't know. Okay. You know what's weird? The psychiatrist that blew her up, she was standing right next to like ground zero where the gas tanks explode. She was fine. She's got a little burn on her face. Anyway.
Oh.
So I was so scared that my evil sister would wake up from a coma and kill me that I faked my death and I abandoned my kid in my hometown and I moved away.
Oh, jeez.
Because I thought it'd be safer. It turns out my evil sister woke up from the coma on Halloween of all nights. I know, real coincidence, right?
That's a huge coincidence.
And then she tried to kill my kid, and then they stopped her. They shot her.
Okay.
And she fell down a well, and then they actually threw dynamite in, but. No one remembers doing the dynamite the first time, but when people recalled it later, like, oh yeah, there was definitely dynamite there. It was definitely always there.
Okay.
Okay. Then my kid stabbed her foster mother. And then everyone just kind of forgot about it. So then
she didn't go into like more foster care or anything? Like there was more psychiatrist.
She went to a kid's hospital.
Okay.
Where my evil sister's psychiatrist worked. And then this
coincidence is really quinky-dinks.
Yeah, and then it turns out my kid had a psychic bond with my evil sister. And the psychiatrist was using this psychic bond to capture my evil sister. My evil sister was captured.
Oh,
and my kid survived. But you'll never believe it.
More?
Yeah, a guy dressed all in black came to town. And he shot up the police station.
And who was he?
Well, it gets more interesting, okay? Kidnapped my evil sister and my kid. Kidnapped them, held them in a place for like years. Turns out, this man in black was the head of the psych ward where my evil sister broke out of. And they were in a cult. And I think he made my evil sister and my kid have an incest baby. I'm kind of unclear. Or maybe it was a clone. I'm a little confused by what happened there.
It might have been a baby. I'm pretty sure if I had to guess, I think it was.
You know what?
An
Sometimes
baby.
I remember the events of this story happening one way.
Okay.
And then sometimes I remember it another way, as if there was like imagine if it was a movie, like a producer came in and cut it up. That's how.
Okay.
Anyway, my kid died.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, but I guess my grandkid.
Oh.
Yeah. It turns out I am very old, Crystal. You guys were right. I had no idea.
Wow. I mean,
my grandkid.
Look great for 50.
This another coincidence. My grandkid got rescued by the little boy I was babysitting the first night my evil sister tried to kill me. Isn't that crazy?
That's insane.
Okay, so then the colt died and everything. And then I thought everything was fine.
Okay.
I was raising my other kid. For some reason,
Wait, how many kids do you have?
Well, I have 2 or 3. I have 2, I think. And I guess for some reason I left that one because I wanted to save them. But then I must have just had another kid.
Did you forget about that kid?
I think I forgot. Forgot about the kid. I probably should. It's weird that I left one kid in the town, but not the other.
Well, what about your grandkid?
Huh?
What happened to your grandkid?
That's a good question. Don't know.
Oh,
I think the kid I was babysitting.
You're such a family man.
Look, I can't keep track. I got to keep my distance. My evil sister is lurking at all times. So you'll never believe this.
Still
my
goes?
Evil sister found out that I was the schoolmistress of a school. I know. Crystal, I've had a very, very weird career before I opened up this video store and became a famous YouTuber.
Yeah.
I was a schoolmistress at a school with my second kid who I decided could live with me, unlike the first kid, which I separated for some reason. I guess it was just easier for me to raise one kid.
And whatever happened to the father of these kids?
It's a good question. It's a good question.
Never appears.
Yeah. You know that cult, by the way, the sanitarium cult, I guess all the members were just in that sanitarium and they all died and there were no other cult members around.
Oh, okay.
So you know what's weird when my evil sister went to attack me at the school where I was the schoolmistress, all the burns that she had from that explosion just magically went away. And I forgot to mention, you know where my fear of eyes being stabbed and stuff comes from? I actually shot her point blank in the eyes twice. And I nailed it twice, both eyes.
Yeah.
And that's where I got my fear. But when I was the schoolmistress and whatchamacallit, is that the word? I think that's the word, right? Anyway, when my evil sister came back, her burns were gone and her eyes grew back. I can't explain.
Your eyes grow back like that?
I guess they did.
Like a chameleon tail?
So my evil sister's there trying to kill my second kid. Okay, and I'm like, I've had enough.
But
right?
your grandkid's okay.
Remains to be seen. I fought my evil sister, right?
Okay.
And then they were. I thought I killed her.
Okay.
And they were like, we're gonna put her in a van.
Sounds like you've almost killed her more times than I can count.
Yeah, well, not even just me, like the entire police force, my first kid.
It's like as if your
doctor.
evil sister.
The psychiatrist
undead.
I think died when he was rescuing my grandkid.
Oh.
Again, it's unclear.
Seems like a lot of things are unclear.
Yeah, if it was the way that person just disappears from the story is as if you were making a movie and like an actor died and you know how to cut around it. Anyway.
Or they actually had it in the producer's cut and they actually ended up cutting it out.
If this were a movie.
This was a movie.
This is a true story.
I know, this is very, very true.
It's true story, okay?
It's devastating.
So they were putting my dead evil sister in a van. And I said, not today, Satan. And I was like, I don't trust this. This is where I got my lack of trust of women, was because of my evil sister.
This is where you got it. That makes
then,
a lot more sense.
After this,
you should forgive your sister.
After this, I was like, I will be a schoolmistress no longer.
Were you also in a romantic relationship with the counselor?
I was, and I was a bit of an alcoholic. And my evil sister...
I'm pretty sure your alcoholism never goes away.
Yeah, my evil sister killed that person.
Wow. Just seems like
also,
your evil sister's out to get you.
Before I finish this part of the story, you know what's weird?
Yeah.
The security guard at this school that I worked at looks a lot like LL Cool J from Deep Blue Sea. Yeah.
That's insane.
Anyway. So I'm driving the van. I'm like, I'm gonna take them to the morgue myself. I want to make sure my evil sister's dead.
Yeah, as you should, because you tried killing
my evil sister was not dead.
Why?
I don't know. Maybe it was because of that cult. It's unclear. Anyway, she attacks me. The van rolls, right? Falls out of the van. Van pins her against a tree. I'm okay, I guess. I have an axe also. I forgot to mention I have an axe.
Oh, and then while you're driving?
Yes. Oh. And then my evil sister, who has only ever tried to kill me for as long as I've lived, reached out to me for help. And then I cut her head off.
You cut her head off?
Yeah.
So she's dead.
Bad news. Turns out, while I was outside, I guess giving my statement to the cops, a paramedic, just one paramedic, went to my serial killing sister's body. And my sister crushed her larynx and switched outfits with her. So I killed an innocent paramedic. And I ended up in an insane asylum, Crystal. And then... You think this be the end of the story, right?
Yeah.
My evil sister came to the insane asylum.
You would think that if this was like a movie series, it would have ended a while ago.
I know. So my evil sister came to the insane asylum where I was at because I feel guilty that I killed that other broad. Can't remember her name. But I felt bad about it.
Okay.
And my evil sister hunted me down. I set a trap for her, though.
Oh.
I fucked up. I had to make sure it was actually my evil sister and not some other poor innocent person.
Because you don't want to go through that again. You went
I don't.
Okay.
My evil sister grabbed me, stabbed me in the back.
Literally?
Yes, and threw me off the roof, and I died. And then they were on a reality TV show. And that's why I just get really sad around Halloween.
Oh, I'm sorry you're dead.
I got better.
I thought you got better. Wow.
Yeah.
What are you, like 82?
Yeah. Oh, by the way, this whole story was made into a movie by a heavy metal singer. And then it got a sequel. But it was a lot different than what happened in real life.
Oh.
Yeah. So that was my story of why I don't really like Halloween. You know what it sounds like? It sounds like the film series Halloween about the killer Michael Myers.
I know. I don't think so.
I think it does. Nah. I think there's a lot of similarities there.
No, I think you're just trying to compare too much.
Speaking of Halloween with Michael Myers, there's a new Michael Myers movie out.
Yay.
Oh, we have not talked about Halloween kills. Kills. We have not talked about Halloween kills.
Which Halloween and then kills.
Okay.
Oh my God.
So, Crystal, I've never asked you. Even though
okay.
Let's get this out of the way. I'm not talking about Halloween 3, okay? I know you like Halloween 3 the most. I know.
You mean like Halloween 3?
Yes, we're gonna do. We will do do a commentary track for Halloween 3.
Yay!
And you can talk more about Halloween 3 there. Now, what is your thoughts on the Halloween series before we get into this new entry? This series that seems a lot like Me and My Evil Sister.
Yeah, that's really weird. Yeah. That's really, really weird. I really like, as Halloween 3 is its own entity, Halloween 1, obviously a huge classic, just a classic slasher.
One of my favorite films. Actually, can you grab me the tape there?
Which one?
Halloween 1.
There's so many. Nope. That's Halloween 2, Rob Zombie, Resurrection.
The tape.
This one.
I remember my mom coming home with the Blockbuster Presents Halloween.
That's actually pretty sweet.
They only made 3 of these. It was this. Oh, shit. When we did rental reviews, it was in rental reviews.
What's rental reviews?
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
James showed, it was this, I think, Night of the Living Dead. And then it was a 2-pack called Bigfoot and Witches.
That
or something
amazing.
Like that. But I remember her coming home with this. I'm like, what is this? And I saw this when I was 5. And I fell in love with Halloween, the movie.
I can see this being like a 5-year-old watching this and getting into Halloween because it's not your typical scary. It's not that you have some jump scares, you have some gruesome kills, but I think this is fantastic. I think the way it's written, I think the way it's portrayed, great acting. Jamie Lee Curtis is this makes her the iconic scream queen, final girl. I know,
and you know what?
She's so strong and smart and amazing.
And she worked really hard for this role, and she made it on her own. And it has nothing to do with the fact that her mom was also a famous scream queen in a movie where a person is stabbing people.
Yeah, nothing.
No, what's nepotism? But no, she's very good at this.
She's absolutely phenomenal. I had no idea that was her mom.
Janet Leigh?
Yeah, Janet Leigh. I eventually found out. Yeah. But growing up watching Halloween, I knew more of Jamie Lee Curtis than I did.
Oh, yeah.
Of her mom.
I actually just bought the Psycho 4-pack Blu-ray, so I'm excited to watch those bad boys again.
Nice. But I think the first one's absolutely phenomenal. Yeah. The second one, it's pretty good. I don't hate it or anything like that. Right. It's okay.
When you're younger, you're like, it's the best sequel because it takes place the same night. Talk about that later.
It does.
And Jamie Lee Curtis is back.
Jamie Lee Curtis is back. It kind of ties up a couple little things. Like you're okay. It's a decent sequel.
Yes. But then you get older.
And you're like, oh.
Yeah, now when I got real into the Halloween movies when I was younger.
I'm not shocked at this.
Like I bought all the tapes and whatnot, and I watched them like I was super into the Halloween series, which is funny because now I'm older. I'm like, not a good franchise.
But why?
Unlike Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm. Looking back, Nightmare on Elm Street is probably the most solid of those franchises.
I have been going back and forth deciding which one of the franchise I actually like the most. And I don't know if I actually have a favorite. Because there's some things I'm like, okay, yes, then no.
I think Nightmare on Elm Street has the most like good to bad ratio, I think.
I think as a full series, yes, I will 100% agree on that. Okay. Because it's a shorter series. It doesn't have as much bullshit movies afterwards. I feel like it's never been remade. It's really like only bullshit.
I'm not a big fan of 4. It has its fans. 5 is kind of the bad one, but there's interesting visuals in it. I like Freddy's Dead. Freddy's Dead is not a good movie, but I like Freddy's Dead.
They also have like, Freddy, I'm just falling. It's cool. It's a ghost. Yeah. It has interesting concepts, and Freddy also grows as a character with them. It's a little bit more jokey. 2 is really 3. I'm not the biggest fan because it was a little too forced for me. Everyone fucking loves 3.
Everyone loves 3.
You're really not a fan of 3?
No, I like it. I'm a fan of it. It's just everyone says it's the best. I'm like, I like 2 a little bit more than this one.
I like 2 more than 3. Yeah. I absolutely like 2 more than 3. 3 was a little
I like New Nightmare more than most of them.
Really?
I really like New Nightmare, even though it's not technically Freddy, but whatever.
Yeah. No, it has that corniness of we can be anything we want in our dreams. And I was like, shut up.
Yeah, like Halloween, it's not a very good franchise.
It's not. If they stopped at 4, if it was 1, 2, and 4 was 3, and that's all they made, I think that would be a really great trilogy.
The thing though, my problem with 4 is it was written during the writer's strike of '88 or whatever. So the guy only had 1 pass, and that's why it's almost pretty much just Halloween 1. Like it's really because he only had a week to write it. Yeah. I talk about that writer's strike a lot because it affected a lot of movie sets. I famously talk about Batman '89. Yeah. The third act of Batman '89 makes no sense. Suddenly has a plane, he's just machine gunning people. It's like, oh, okay. That's what happens when your main writer only has 1 pass and then they all go on strike. But 4 had such a good cliffhanger and they were too afraid to deliver.
I am mad. I hate the fact that they didn't go with that. No! Because I love Danielle Harris is absolutely phenomenal. In the 4 and in 5, she does an amazing job just as a kid in general. And I know in other things that she's done, she's also phenomenal.
Don't tell mom the babysitter's dead.
Yeah.
It's Home Alone times 5.
Yes. I hate the story of, like, she fucking killed her mom. And, like, it's like, and then,
yeah.
That's how I feel.
5 is pretty bad.
And then you go into the others. It's just that feeling. They're like, stop, make it stop.
I did a video with James years ago on like how to fix Halloween 6. So here's the thing. I don't know if you've seen that video. I was like real into Halloween 6 when I was a teen.
I feel like you were really into all the Halloween.
I was, but like 6 because like So 6 had been out for a few years. It was like, this is even after H2O. I was going back and watching 6 like on cable and stuff.
Okay.
This is around the time where like The Undertaker had a cult in WWF. Oh, hi, Undertaker. So I was into like Undertaker. Cult stuff and whatnot. So I went back and watched Halloween 6. I'm like, this movie's awesome. I love the Thorn cult and whatnot. And I thought it was so great. And then I got so the thing is, like, I loved all these movies except for 5. I always had a problem, like a hard time accepting. And then I got older and I rewatched.
You had more hard time accepting 5 than 6?
Because 5 is so fucking boring and lame.
It's really boring. It's really long. Nothing happens. You're just like, eh.
Yeah.
Yeah, 6 is completely different.
6, they over-edited to make it seem entertaining when it kind of wasn't. Then they did Halloween H2O. And I like Halloween H2O, but I'm not a big fan of 2 anymore, so I don't like that it has pieces of 2. Like, now that I'm older, I don't really like that she's his sister. It seems kind of lame.
Just like you come up with one story and stick with it, though, because now it's confusing. Now that you're going into the other ones as well.
Do you want me to do a breakdown of the timelines?
Are you going to do it anyway?
Yes.
Okay, then go ahead.
So we have the Jamie Lloyd series, which is technically 1 and 2.
Yes.
4, 5, and 6. So you got her mother and then the daughter, Jamie Lloyd.
4, 5, 6 is...
The 6, Jamie Lloyd's in
like
that.
The kid, yeah.
Yeah, that's like the end of her thing.
It's the end of her, yeah. It's the end of hers, and then this baby and...
Yeah, then you have the first Laurie Strode series, which is 1, 2, H2O, and Resurrection, which I'm wearing my shirt for. Trick or treat, motherfucker. Then, of course, you have the Rob Zombie's Halloween, which is the remake.
I always forget about them.
Yes. And now you have the new Laurie Strode series, which is Halloween 1. 2018.
2018, and then Kills, and then Ends. Yeah.
And then, of course, the outside is Halloween 3, which is, again, we'll do a commentary track for.
Which I wish they actually stuck with what they wanted to do. I would have loved that. I would, and I mean, it doesn't make sense that you already did 1 and then you did 2, and now you're starting with an anthology.
If they had done it, if they had tried it earlier, it might have worked.
But the thing is, the Michael Myers character was so large, and so I watched an entire interview with a whole bunch of the people from Halloween 3, and they were saying that the producers kind of fucked up because they just didn't really, many of the executive producers just didn't care anymore.
Yeah.
And they're just like, well, it's going to flop anyway. And they didn't market it right. If they marketed saying Michael Myers was not going to be in it, but that was never said at all whatsoever.
Even like the tagline is like, no one comes home and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very misleading.
A lot of people from Halloween 2, a lot of the crew ended up being in that. It's such a fascinating story of how...
Jamie Lee Curtis is in it.
She really is. She's been in almost all of them?
No, not all of them.
Not all, but she's been in...
There's a picture of her in 4, and that's it. 5.
I still find it awesome, like, seeing, like, the images of her, though.
Yeah.
Like, that still counts.
No, I hate in 4. It's a picture of her holding the pumpkin from 1. It's like, who took that fucking picture?
That happens all the time.
Yeah. So Halloween has rebooted itself several times now. They like to...
Just come up with the storyline and stick with it.
It's actually reminding me of Godzilla. Did you know I talk about Godzilla?
You do?
Yeah, I have a Godzilla podcast.
Okay. Remind me never to listen to it.
So there's different...
Wait, is Johanna on it?
Yes.
Oh, I'll listen to Johanna.
So there's several Godzilla timelines. There's the Showa series, the Heisei series, and the Millennium series. With the exception of the American remakes and Shin Godzilla, all Godzilla sequels consider the first movie canon.
Okay.
So it'll be like the first movie's canon, then you have the Showa series. Yeah. And then they restart. First movie's canon, the Heisei series. And then with the Millennium series, every movie was just a direct sequel to the first movie, and they were all disconnected. So that's kind of what Halloween is starting to feel like, where it's like that first one is the constant, and they're just going to keep figuring other ways to reboot it.
I wish we were doing a review of Halloween 2018.
What are your thoughts on 2018? Let's try to go through them quickly.
Okay. I didn't like it. There were so many inconsistent things that were throughout the movie, so many what the fuck moments. It didn't feel right. It felt over-explained and nothing really happened. The whole beginning of it, I was like, really? How did Michael Myers see the fucking reporters our journalists as they were coming in, and he's like, how the hell did he get? One of his friends.
Oh,
really? Come on,
no
one gave you that fucking mask.
By the way, have you seen what the real mask looks like? The real mask from part one?
I know what the real one is Captain Kirk.
No, but I mean like what it looks like now.
No.
Okay, it's super degraded. It looks real derpy. And I actually, when 2018 were showing pictures of Michael Myers, I photoshopped the actual mask from the first movie onto it. And it's just like,
yeah, because I feel like that rubber would end up having to harden.
Oh, yeah.
Well, there's no way you would end up putting it back on. That would actually disintegrate after 40 fucking years.
Wait. Halloween, Rob Zombie's Halloween. Like, Michael Myers, I guess, buried his latex mask under the floorboards, and then he brings it back. I'm like, that wouldn't still be around.
No. And the hair's just fine. Like, no, what is that hair? Like, have you ever had a wig for, like, fucking years? Or you've gone to, like, I remember, like, the attic of my mom's house still, like, old costumes or something like that. I'm like, this smells. Like, imagine putting that on after 40 years, putting on that in your face. No.
Yeah.
So there's so many things I did not like about it.
Are there any things you did like about it?
I thought it was an interesting concept.
Yeah.
I love Jamie Lee Curtis. I thought she was a badass. You think
Danny McBride and the director of, what did he direct? Fucking David Gordon Green, Pineapple Express did a good job. I think okay.
It wasn't horribly directed. Yeah. I think that there was too many, like I said, inconsistencies. I think there was too many little things where if Jamie Lee Curtis or if Laurie was really planning this, she would have planned it a little bit better. Also, how did the daughter or the granddaughter learn how to shoot a gun? Like, there's a...
Yeah.
Or am I getting confused with... No, it's in the Halloween Kills.
Yeah.
That's going to come back up.
Okay, so...
There's so many little things where I'm like, that's a horrible trap. Why would you almost risk your life to get someone in a fucking basement? And then, also, why are you standing there? The whole ending really pissed me off. You got stabbed in the stomach and you're kind of okay and you're okay to fight. I get adrenaline, but come on.
Yeah.
And then you're able to stand there and the house doesn't like, wouldn't it explode? Look how old that house...
She had 40 years to plan this. Okay. You have your issues with it.
I have issues.
As far as I can tell, for me, I'm like, you know what? I think this might be, and it's not a hard thing to pull off. I'm like, I think it might be the best Michael Myers sequel, 2018. Because it gets rid of the stupid family shit. Didn't need that. I like that they went to like for this movie. They went back to basics. He's just kind of a guy. Like, he kind of survived. Like, you can theoretically say when you watch the first movie how it has that ambiguous ending. You could say like, oh, Michael Myers got away, or maybe he just got up and died a couple streets down. And people have survived some crazy shit. So I'm like, all right, he's back to just being a dude, not a weird cult assassin, whatever guy.
I like how they had to fully explain that. It was just a theory. Some people had to feel better. Wouldn't you feel better knowing that he was after his sister, not just a random guy?
They just needed that line for the trailer.
That's all they needed.
But I thought it was fine. I thought it was a nice, self-contained movie that wrapped up the Laurie Strode thing, gave you a nice ending. It's like, okay, she has... So it took the stuff from H2O I liked with like the PTSD and whatnot, but did it a little bit better.
Yeah, I agree.
And again, nice little self-contained story and ending.
Yeah.
It could have ended it there. Instead, they made a sequel. Are you ready to talk about Halloween Kills?
Kill me?
So right here.
Okay, I do want to say, though, going off into this, it's not horrible compared to 5, 6, and all the other ones.
I'd rather watch this
over 5 and beyond.
The Rob Zombie.
All of them. From 5 on, I prefer Kills, but... it has its issues, and it has a lot of fucking issues in it.
So here's a quote from Danny McBride.
Okay.
So originally, they wanted to do 2 back-to-back, like the first one and this one. So he goes, we were going to shoot 2 of them back-to-back. Then we were like, well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. This could come out, and everyone could hate us, like Crystal. I don't know why I'm pointing you out. We never work again, so let's not have to sit around for a year while we wait for another movie to come out that we know people aren't going to like. So we're like, let's learn from this and see what works, what doesn't. But we definitely have an idea where we could go with this. So I like that they made that movie. If they didn't get a sequel, it just self-contained, the story ends. But they left a little wiggle room. So I'll give them credit for that. I'll give them credit for that, for telling a nice down-to-earth sequel that I liked. And now they're just going to go crazy with it. This almost seems, so the previous one did reference all the sequels very like minimally.
Yeah.
But like,
like a little like homage to them.
Yeah, like the, you know, the Halloween 3 master in it. He kills a mechanic at the like in the floor. Yes. There's little stuff like that.
I liked that though. I did like that. They're like the little Easter eggs where if you like actually love the series.
His doctor being a bad guy is kind of like Halloween.
It was.
6,
there was so much. And of course, obviously when he pushes Laurie off the top and then he looks back down, even though it wasn't Laurie that saw him on the ground, but
they couldn't just get Busta Rhymes for one cameo.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
So one of the things about 2018 that I thought was interesting was the boyfriend, the cheating boyfriend kind of. Yes. He kind of just, not that I thought he deserved to die because the high school relationships don't count, but I thought it was weird the movie didn't give him any kind of comeuppance.
No.
Actually, there might have been a deleted scene where he like gets into a fight with Allison and gets arrested.
Oh.
That was cut out. There might be. I have to double check. Either way, that's not the final scene.
It doesn't matter.
So it starts with him.
Which I actually liked because it really does go right into where it left off.
Which they got from Halloween 2, the original Halloween 2.
I do appreciate that.
So he's walking around. He's still in his skirt because he's Bonnie.
Yeah, I thought that was cute. That was cute.
Turns out Will Patton survived. And I like Will Patton. I'll never forgive him for Halloween. Roadhouse 2. I'll never forgive him for Roadhouse 2. But I like Will Patton.
So you're saying Roadhouse 2 isn't better than Roadhouse 1?
Yeah. Nothing's better than Roadhouse 1.
You're acting like you really like Roadhouse.
I love Roadhouse. It's the best movie ever made.
Don't cry, Tony.
There are no other movies better than Roadhouse. What movie is better than Roadhouse?
I feel like you're about
to Roadhouse cinematographer Dean Cundy, who also was a cinematographer for Halloween.
Very nice.
Anyway, so he like saved Will Patton, and then we get a flashback to 1978.
I didn't like the flashback. I did not like. Okay. I get it because it did tie up how the fuck is Michael Myers in this hospital when in the first movie he vanishes.
Yeah.
They never caught him. So this is what ties that up, which I did like.
So what happened was, this is how they wanted to start Halloween 2018. They had the idea of like, hey, let's show what happened afterwards. And I think if I remember right, I couldn't find the article, like John Carpenter kind of advised against it. He's like, nah, just trust your audience. They'll go with it. You just say, hey, he was arrested.
Oh,
it's
really
fine.
Quick, before the flashback though, I do want to say, why is everything so ambiguous where in 2018 where they keep saying he, everyone's like, what are you talking about? And they do it again in the first goddamn scene, basically, of saying, where he's on the ground, like,
it's like, he needs to die.
And it's like, who the fuck is he? How does the town, I think this might have been one of my biggest issues with 2018 going into this as well, because it's a constant issue I have. We see cell phones are a thing. The very beginning, he's calling his friend. You see it in his pocket. Cell phones are a thing. All the kids are using it. Is no one else using phones? Wouldn't that be breaking news that a bus being transferring these patients crashed?
I mean, it was on the TV and stuff, but
it wasn't until later at the bar. That would have been great.
No, because the previous movie, you know what it was? Like, I don't think they mentioned that like Michael Myers was on the thing.
But wouldn't that also be huge news except for that town that, Michael Myers is because Laurie knew he was being transferred. Yeah. Everyone else seemed to know he was being transferred, but yet that wasn't news or a big thing because if it's also supposed to be happening around this current time as well, it would be a huge thing on the news.
This is a problem I have with this movie because 2018 kind of showed that like the rest of the town like doesn't care anymore. Because like,
by
the way, with good reason, because the one kid in 2018 is like, hey, killed 5 people. There's people today that can kill way more. But now in this town, when they realize Michael Myers is back, they all act like they were personally offended by Michael Myers. And like, some of this happened before you guys were born.
But for a lot of them were.
Yeah.
I get it. 40 years have gone by. They're over it. Fine.
No. But in this movie, they're like, and I get there's like a survivor group. So I got questions about the survivor group.
Do too.
I'll get to that. But
I honestly think the town, or at least the police force, where if Michael Myers really killed the police chief or whatever, it wasn't the police chief. It was one of the officers.
Yeah, daughters. He kills another officer. Yeah.
No, the daughter of one of the officers.
Oh yeah, Annie.
Yes, Annie. don't you think he would also be a little bit more curious? Okay, Michael Myers is being transferred. Oh shit, the bus crashed. You probably definitely heard it on the fucking radio scanner.
Yeah.
And yet, why are you not?
I don't know how many people know outside of Laurie. Like, they're probably not all keeping up with it.
Well, what about this fact? If a bus full of prisoners or patients escaped and people were murdered, don't you think they would lock down the town? I would let people know, because in Philadelphia, there was a car chase happening and it went into around where my hometown was. And I know my family was freaking the fuck out. Everyone was in their home. Yeah. Everyone knew there was helicopters. There was everything was happening. Everyone was basically in lockdown. All the towns nearby.
Yeah.
So why nothing there?
Because they couldn't cancel Halloween.
Oh.
That's what the sheriff says. The sheriff with the cowboy hat. It's like, what we're gonna do? Cancel Halloween? Anyway.
They fucking did it for COVID. They did it how many other times they canceled Halloween.
So my problem, all right, so they show the flashback. Hawkins is Will Patton's character.
Alcohol.
Hawkins is Will Patton's character. He's there with his partner, and his partner's just like, hey, I used to hang out with Michael when he was a kid. I kind of like this. It's like, he used to stare out of his sister's window. I'm like,
they say this so many times.
But I was just like, no, I like he was just a normal kid, and then it snapped.
He snapped, yeah.
I don't need to be like, the man in black put a weird curse on him.
No. And they say it later in the movie too, where, what was he doing staring out the window? Oh, he was probably looking at his reflection.
Yeah. But, so they're looking for him. They see him for like a second. What happens? Oh, I like that. Oh, what did you see this on? Peacock?
Yes.
Okay. I couldn't tell. I need to like up the contrast or something. It doesn't look like he has a single bullet hole in his jumpsuit. So what I think happened is, this is my theory. Michael Myers, when Loomis shot at him 6 times, Loomis just missed all 6 times. And Michael,
all 6 times?
And Michael, who, he's a real trickster. It's Halloween, trick or treat. He's like, oh, you got me. He just mimed being shot. And since he was so committed to the bit, he's like, now I'm going to throw myself off the balcony to trick him. Because there's not one bullet hole in him. So Michael Myers, like, I like that little Lonnie, get your ass out of there. I like that he's getting bullied.
I laughed at that. I thought that was kind of funny. But I was like, okay, these are kids just being assholes.
But he's the bully who bullied Tommy. But he gets face to face with Michael Myers. I guess the second time, because in the first Halloween, doesn't he bump into him outside of the school?
I don't know if it was him that bumped into him.
Or was that
I can't
Richie?
remember.
I forget.
There's been a couple, but they don't mention the other people that bumped into him.
Yeah. But yeah, he runs away.
Yeah.
The cops chase him to the Myers house where he is. He attacks the one cop. Oh, they show the dead dog that they never show in the first one.
Yeah. And I was
you
like,
actually get to see the dog chewed up.
Yeah. I was like,
Michael can't steal like a fucking sandwich. He's got to eat a dog. Anyway.
Yeah, that makes no sense. But you never see him eat another dog.
In Halloween Resurrection, he's got rats that are half eaten.
Nice prop.
But I guess Michael doesn't eat, except that one dog once.
I assume he eats at some point.
He doesn't die.
So what happens? Yeah, the cops are in there. They get attacked by Michael. Fucking Hawkins accidentally shoots his partner.
Yep.
And then we see Dr. Loomis. So, okay. So this was the film's art director, Tom Jones Jr. I don't think he's related to Tom Jones.
I don't think so.
They put a full prosthetic on him.
Was it him or was it the foreman? I read it that it was their foreman.
It's whoever it was. They put a full prosthetic on a guy. That was Donald Pleasance's face. Now I think they enhanced it with CGI a little bit.
They said they didn't do it. I read that it took 11 prosthetics to put on his face and they didn't use any CGI.
Here's a secret, Crystal.
Oh, what?
They lie about not using CGI all the time. They use CGI to enhance everything. Baby Yoda is heavily enhanced by CGI.
Now you're going to tell me the Great Pumpkin doesn't exist.
He doesn't. But I looked, because I've seen these effects before. Around his mouth, it looks like they smoothed out around his mouth. Because it's hard to get, like, it's
I want to believe it was great effects and someone did a phenomenal job.
Here's the thing. I only think they enhanced it when he was talking. Because you don't need to enhance it. The other time it looked fine.
He looked great. He looked great. Like,
because it wasn't.
I had to do a double take. I was like, whoa, wait a minute.
Because I was ready for them to be like a CGI deepfake. And I'm looking at it. I'm like, That actually looks a little too good. I mean, there are good CGI de-aging and stuff.
But that was
and it's the same guy who did the voice of Loomis in the previous one when they're listening to his tapes. Yeah. They got a voice actor that sounds like Loomis. But yeah, so then, whatchamacallit, it cuts to the credit sequence where there are 12 pumpkins.
Yes.
Because it's the 12th movie.
I did like that there was the pumpkins.
Yeah, you know what?
I really enjoyed
that. That is my problem with all the Halloween sequels after 2. Like, I liked the pumpkin opening.
Yeah,
and then they just never
went back to it.
5, they kind of showed a pumpkin being carved, but it wasn't the same thing.
It wasn't.
I kind of missed the pumpkin opening.
I saw that and I was like, and it just kind of brings you back more like nostalgic feeling.
Yeah. And I like the last one where it was the pumpkin in reverse building itself back up.
I thought that was cool.
I like that. So there's apparently Laurie had a support group who are at the talent show at the bar where the nurse and doctor from the previous movie ended up.
I did.
Yeah.
I have so many questions.
I like how they brought back some of the background characters for this one.
I enjoyed that. I was like, oh shit, it's the guy that forgot his stethoscope. But it was actually in his pocket the whole time. But the girl saw Michael Myers.
Yeah.
She straight up saw him.
Well, she didn't know. No, she doesn't know what Michael Myers was wearing. She just saw a guy.
She did. She just saw a guy in a mask and mechanic's outfit.
So apparently there's a support group. Okay, I get Tommy Doyle and Lindsay to an extent. And it's the original Lindsay.
Oh, is it? I don't think I realized that.
Yes, it's the original Lindsay, who's apparently still been acting in a lot of TV and stuff.
Good for her.
Tommy Doyle is Anthony Michael Hall.
Yep.
They were thinking of bringing, what's his face back? Ant-Man.
Oh,
Why am I blanking on his name?
Paul Rudd?
Paul Rudd.
Yes.
Paul Rudd, who a few years ago, he answered they had one of those Google questions. And they're like, what was the first theatrical film you were in? He went, Halloween 6. And then he paused. He's like, I can't remember the name of it. But they were thinking about bringing him back. But I guess maybe it would have just been too distracting. So they got
probably would have been. I would have been too distracted by him.
And then the guy from Haunting of Hill House who played the caretaker dude, he is the grown-up Lonnie.
Yes.
And then Nurse Marion is there.
There was a lot of weirdness. It just seemed like they tried to put too much into
I get
this
the
area.
3 together.
And just make it that. Just make it that.
But if we're only counting the first movie as canon, Marion, she just drove the doctor to the hospital one night. Yeah, she got attacked. It's probably scary, but she was never in immediate danger. I mean, Halloween. She did get murdered in Halloween H2O, but this is a new timeline.
It is a new timeline. I'm trying to think, was that it that happened to her?
That's all that happened to her in the first movie. He attacked her, and then she comes back in 2, and she comes back in H2O.
Yeah.
But in this continuity, I guess he still worked at the hospital, and I guess they worked closely together and everything. But she didn't know who Michael was before that night.
No.
And then she never saw him again. I guess she worked at the sanitarium. I don't know.
They never explain it. They don't explain
it. I feel it's like a thing who's still alive from the first movie.
That's what it is.
Get them. Yeah. So they have a little support group. But
don't they know what he was wearing and what he looked like, right? That night? Wouldn't that stuff kind of burn into your memory?
Don't worry. I've got an issue with that.
I have a huge issue, but also if this is a local town legend where the two dressed up as the doctor and the nurse, they knew the story.
They heard the story. They probably don't know the specifics of it, though.
No, but I feel like that's an icon or an image that a lot of people that live there know what he looks like. I don't know
anyone took any pictures of him that night, so you just have to white mask and a jumpsuit. Okay.
Well, that's what he was wearing that night when the freaking nurse saw him.
So was Ben Tramer. Oh, wait, that's a different continuity. Yeah, so
there's just so many little things where I'm like, really?
So Tommy Doyle's talent at the talent show is telling a story. So I guess all those readings, reading all those comic books made him a really good storyteller. Remember those comic books, Neutron Man, Tarantula Man? Anyway, he's all like, we will never succumb to fear and the boogeyman and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, okay.
That was so stupid. Yeah. I was like, oh, okay, here we go, retelling a story. Let's go ahead and retell it.
This movie, there's a lot of padding in this movie.
There's a lot of padding, and we have to go over it over and over and over. We know what the fucking story is by now. Move the fuck on.
So eventually, the movie remembers, oh yeah, Laurie Strode and her granddaughter and daughter.
I feel like there's 2 storylines happening in this.
There's multiple ones.
I mean, there's multiple ones. I feel like it's either the story. I would like it to be the story of Laurie and her overcoming everything that happened with Michael and her family, I don't care about the fucking town. I don't. Yeah, it's because they don't care. They didn't care enough to make me care.
Yeah, the way the town is acting, they're acting like Michael has attacked the town like 5 or 6 times before. But it was only there for the one time.
They talk about it the one time. Well, in the bar.
Yeah.
Oh, it's 40 years has gone by.
Yeah,
blah,
it's
blah,
like,
blah.
guys, get the fuck over it.
But it feels like they did get over it. But now all of a sudden, just for this movie, they go back to it.
Yeah. But like the way the town is acting, they're acting like it happens all the time, and they're acting like they did even Halloween 4, they shouldn't have been acting that bad. Well, no, I guess because if you factor in Halloween 2, he killed a lot of people. But yeah, so I thought the town was overreacting, especially since the point of the last one is the town didn't take it seriously or didn't care anymore. What happened? So Laurie is pissed that the firefighters just show up in record time. Let it burn! So how could Michael possibly survive that last movie?
One, I want to know why is now Laurie, because she was showing that she was in pain on that truck.
Yeah, because she got stabbed, yeah.
Why is she now showing pain, but at the ending of the other one, she was not in pain at all whatsoever?
Dramatic effect. Anyway.
But it was just so weird seeing that. And then why do you not think firefighters would show up to a burning house?
I didn't think she expected them to get there that fast.
But enough to put a fire out.
Yeah.
She clearly did not blow up the house enough.
Yeah.
And also a house that old, I'm like, okay, I know she modernized the house, but for all the wood that's in there, I feel like it should have disintegrated a lot faster.
If I was the cops, if I was the firefighters and I saw a cop car with severed heads, I'd be like, whoa, let's not jump right into this one.
But there's multiple cop cars at that point down that road. Right?
Yeah, they should have saw the dead head. They're
coming down the road, a cop car also in the middle of the road.
Yeah.
For when, yeah. There's there's 2 in the middle.
The firefighters should have been a little bit more worried about going in.
2 cop cars down the road, blocking the entrance to go down the road into where the driveway is. And then in the driveway, there's also another cop car with the severed head with the flashlight up in the
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When they saw that.
3 cop cars with dead police officers and blood.
Yeah. So how he survived the fire? He hid in the little gun room closet. Which, okay, you know what, Crystal? Maybe that kept him safe from the flames. But I guess he just held his breath in for a really long time. So this is one of the issues I have with the movie. A lot of the kills aren't scary. This starts to feel like an action movie.
It does.
And I wrote Michael Myers is now the horror John Wick. He just shows up and okay. So I can't criticize this too much because by this logic, I would have to criticize how Michael could drive a car in the first one. And I know Dr. Loomis has that theory. He's like, someone maybe gave him lessons. I'm like, I don't know who was giving the crazy people lessons. But anyway, for some reason, for a guy who killed his sister when he was 6, then sat in the hospital for however many years, and then broke out once, killed 5 people, caught them all by surprise, right? And who is now in his 60s, how is he's so good at hand-to-hand combat? He's so good at dodging things and he's fighting everyone. He's so good with the weapon to weapon. I'm like, who did he practice on? He apparently just stared at a wall for 40 years. So, but he fucking murders it's pretty awesome.
So what I don't like about these murders though, and this is also going back to the 2018, was I love the first movie and a little bit more in the second, where he kind of stalks the people first. And he makes it more intense.
Yeah.
He kind of watches them for a little bit and then goes after them. And these 2, he just goes for it and he just murders them.
There's a few stalking moments in this and the previous one. But you're right, this scene.
No, it just feels like he's just going up to kill. The one girl in the house, was it 18?
Oh, yeah, there is that one scene where he's just going around murdering everyone.
Also, you're in a mechanic shop and yet you go into a shed to grab why are you going to random places where you were literally just in a mechanic shop and there's massive amounts of weapons in there and they're...
Whatever. Look, he needs his iconic outfit because the Akkads need it. Should we mention that the reason they keep making Michael Myers movies was so Mustafa Akkad could fund, Islamic movies in the Middle East?
What?
Yeah, Joe Bob talked about it. Mustafa Akkad, like, kind of used these movies to fund these, like, movies about Islam, I think, in the Middle East.
Really?
Yeah.
I had no idea. I didn't see that one of Joe Bob.
Mustafa Akkad, he lived in the Middle East. He died in the Middle East in a terrorist bombing in, like, 2006. That's why his son, Michael Akkad or Malik Akkad is the producer. That's why they, like, dedicate the movies to him.
Oh, shit.
But yeah, he kind of kept this series.
That makes sense now.
He kind of kept the series going so he could fund other movies. And, like, after Halloween 3, he's like, no, you got to have Michael Myers and everything.
That's what
Yeah, that's why there's that famous interview where
I know what you're talking about.
Jamie Lee Curtis found out last minute she wasn't allowed to kill Michael Myers. She's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about now.
So anyway, he kills everyone. It's pretty awesome.
So the fire truck, and then he kills all the firefighters.
The actor who played Sheriff Brackett is still alive? I had no idea. I had no idea that actor was still alive. Sheriff Brackett from the first one, Annie's father.
Yeah.
He's the security guard at the hospital because a lot of cops retire and become security guards. And I kind of
that's
like
what we're talking about. Like, why wouldn't he also be more invested in this?
I kind of like that they use a clip from Halloween 2. Even though it's not canon, it is something that would have happened. So if you have the footage, why not use it?
Yes.
And they also kept the Halloween 2 logo for the hospital.
I did like that.
Yeah, because like
that I did like.
Realistically, he would have seen his daughter's body.
Yes, he would have.
So why not use the footage? You have it. I do like that they'll reference the other movies and use bits and pieces of them.
Even though Halloween 2 doesn't exist. Yeah. But it's nice a little... Okay.
Yeah. I do like that we get to see Karen and Allison actually mourn the dad.
Oh yeah, Karen, that's her name.
Yeah, I really like Toby Huss's character in the previous one. Maybe just because I really like Toby Huss and I actually felt bad.
You do feel bad for him.
There were a few characters in 2018 that I actually kind of liked. And I'm like, oh, it's nice when a slasher movie gets you to care about the characters a little bit.
Yeah.
Because there's so many fucking slashers. Like,
it's just people die. You're just like, oh, I don't care. But it's.
But that's why I like the first Halloween so much. Like, I believe in those girls' like friendships and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You believe in friendship?
I believe in their friendship.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I believe in the fictional friendship. There are no friendships in real life.
No.
Better watch your fucking back.
I always do.
So
I never trusted you.
So I'm calling bullshit.
Friendship.
Okay. They staple Laurie up. They put her in surgery. They put her under. There's no way she's waking up tonight. No fucking way. I've been put under for minor surgery, and it took me fucking hours to wake back up.
You see the intense surgery that she's going through.
Yeah. There's no way. By the way, when she does wake up, she's going to be out of it for hours. Like, she was just up. Ready to go. She just wakes up. She's like, oh,
but also, like, there's a knife right next to you.
People get like teeth pulled and they're loopy for like hours and hours.
That's as soon as I saw the granddaughter, what's her name? Karen and
Allison.
Yeah. Soon as Allison put the knife next to her grandma's
that was weird.
I was like, okay, it's wrapped up, but wouldn't she be a little like psychotic when you wake up, a little loopy? You're like,
there's like an inconsistency with that, and then there's a loose end with it that I'll explain.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm calling bullshit on that.
I agree.
Also, okay, so spoiler, jumping ahead. Michael's just supernatural again. Fuck it.
He is.
I like how the last movie
100%.
they're like, I mean, they got a little carried away with him stomping the guy's head in and shit. But they were like, hey, you know what? This is just a normal guy who came back years later. But this one, they're like, fuck it. He's really strong. So is he supernatural?
But he almost made him supernatural in the first one because they were saying that he has like these super senses.
Well, yeah, that's what his doctor's saying, but his doctor's a little fucking nuts too.
A little bit.
Yeah. But yeah, so Michael, so how does he, like, because he doesn't really heal, but he just can't die? Because, like, if you think about it, his eye is still fucked. He still has the hole in his neck. Now his fingers are off. But now he has to patch himself up. So, like, so he can't die, but it looks like he also can't heal himself.
Yeah.
So is he a zombie? What's going on here? I'm a little confused, but I like that he took the effort to patch. And you hear him taking the bullets out when he's in those people's houses. I thought that was pretty cool.
That was cool, but yeah.
But he fucking murders them brutally.
He does. How is he able to do all of that with so many missing fingers?
Because he's pure evil. But this is where, like, the tone feels a little weird. Because we just had, like, an action scene kind of murder. But now we get this
with the firefighters.
Yeah.
It's so brutal.
But now we get this real, like, brutal, mean-spirited murder where he, like, stabs her in the neck and then he keeps her alive. And I think this is the only time we ever see him making a decoration. where he's like,
you never see it.
Yeah, I like how he's pulling the knives and he's kind of like, okay, I'm gonna put a knife there, and then he's just like, I'm gonna put a knife there.
I'm trying to think. But
she's like slowly like, and it felt like the Rob Zombie Halloween a little bit because there's like some real mean spirited kills in those movies.
I felt so bad for them. But the movies, I actually liked them. I was like, oh, they're fun.
Yeah, but like the movies, like it's got problems with tone. We're like, all right, this is very serious, like gritty, almost realistic, kind of sad murder, but it just got followed up by. It's following like ninja kung fu Michael Myers. Then later on, there's like a death scene that has nothing to do with Michael Myers. That's really depressing.
Oh, that's the thing is this movie was too chaotic. They tried putting way too much into this movie. I think if they didn't have, I know we're going to get into it, but there's a whole social aspect that they try to throw in here.
Yeah, like the angry mob mentality.
The angry mobs. Yeah. I think Jamie Lee Curtis actually said a lot of it, that it represents the Capitol attack, the attack.
No, the next one will, she said.
Really?
Even though
I thought it was this one she was saying.
This was filmed a while ago.
That's what I was curious about. And I was like, this wasn't filmed
No, I think she said the next one.
Oh, is it
there is a time jump. Yeah, Halloween Ends is the next one. But
because that's what I thought she was referencing.
I think
and I was like,
a break in filming to finish this one. But they're probably injecting stuff into it because this is still 2018. So I don't know. Maybe Michael's gonna go around killing people during COVID. He's like, where is everyone?
Why is everyone wearing a mask now? You literally see people wearing Jason masks.
That's the only thing that kills Michael Myers. It's like,
COVID.
Ironically, he wore a mask more than all of us. That's the strangest part. He just wouldn't get vaccinated.
It's all like everyone's wearing like a Freddy Jason. They're all coming after Michael's.
He keeps trying to kill people and they just keep arguing about the election. He's like, I don't know who any of these people are, but I'm in an insane asylum. Anyway.
But yeah, they put too much social commentary in this. They put too many story. It was very, very, very messy.
Now, at the bar, did you notice they were watching something? They were watching before it switches to the news.
Wait.
I'm
trying to remember where we were. It was...
So this is where they switch back to the bar. The news story's about to break on.
Yeah.
About to come on.
I know exactly. Okay.
But before the news story comes on, Crystal, they're watching Hack the Living Dead. I saw the character Ben from my movie Hack the Living Dead. That movie I made with George Romero. I'm like,
that's weird because I thought you made that after this.
I know, right? They must have. They were editing it. Mine came out.
Gotcha. And they're like, and they were still editing it. Good.
They probably. I mean, everyone's. I know they showed Night of the Living Dead and like Halloween 2. But I think with this one,
Hack the Living Dead.
I bet it was a coincidence where someone was like, "Hey, I just watched this movie, Hack the Living Dead. It's pretty good."
It has to be.
So yeah, the news comes on. They're like, "There's still 2 inmates missing," and then they show a picture of Michael Myers, and this becomes a huge fucking continuity issue. I don't want to get to it yet. I want to get to the scene where it really bothered me. Now the town is chanting, "Evil dies tonight."
Oh, I don't think they started.
They started here.
They started it here?
Marion starts it. And they're like, because the nurse and the doctor are like, there's someone in our car. It's Michael Myers.
And
it has to be.
It's the other guy.
It's the other guy who broke out, who actually was in 2018. He was the guy with the umbrella.
Yeah, he was, yeah.
So Tommy's ready to kill him.
Because they show him on the news, too.
They show him on the news, and then the camera goes out of focus when it's Michael. I thought that was pretty funny. Yeah. But, so they're ready to like kill this dude and everyone's all chanting. They're like 40 years. Tommy's story must have really got everyone up in arms.
That pissed me off. And I was like, okay, I'm guessing everyone's just really drunk and really passionate right now. And ready to say the word. And I think this is doing this is where your social commentary also comes to, of people who are thinking they're just reacting and they don't know what's really happening. Also,
it's a reference to 4 with the angry militia looking for Michael Myers.
That and
then when they accidentally kill the guy, Ben, whatever.
Yeah.
So Tommy was like 6 when Michael attacked him. Like, get over it, dude. Like you're.
No, I mean, that's gonna scar you. It's the boogeyman.
It's gonna scar you, but it's like, dude, just like move. like you really.
Why? Yeah, that's the thing. Why doesn't anyone just
like? I know Laurie doesn't want to move because her kind of PTSD. She needs to make sure
he's to kill him. She needs.
But like everyone else, they'd be like,
no one else had that kind of relationship with him.
Yeah, everyone else should just be like, he doesn't have a license. Like he's not going to get too far.
Well, that's always my biggest issue with, especially this one. Yeah.
So
he's really slow.
Yeah.
So I don't understand how people just don't run. This comes up in the park scene.
Oh, did you ever see? Someone did a skit on YouTube. Did you ever see that? Where it's like Michael's running, and then as soon as the girl gets out of it, as soon as like the girl gets out of his line of vision, it cuts to him running and cutting through the house, and then walking slow again for dramatic effect.
I've never seen that.
It's pretty funny. So it turns out the guy who stole the car is like the other crazy guy, and he gets away. So everyone.
But like, you see a glimpse of him on the screen. Right, on the news.
I know.
She already saw him.
But we then meet the best characters, Big John and Little John. Did you like Big John and Little John?
I did.
Michael McDonald.
I know. I love Michael McDonald.
Okay.
I love him.
Okay.
I saw him and it just made me happy.
I'm sorry. No offense to Michael McDonald. No offense at all. But
there's
and look, and this is someone who grew up seeing Michael McDonald in horror films.
Yeah.
Carnosaur 2, Carnosaur 3, 2 different characters, Leprechaun 2. He's in a couple horror films.
Leprechaun.
Michael, I can't take him seriously in a horror movie.
You can't do it.
I can't do it.
It just felt like the comic relief. And like, it didn't feel like there was a real purpose of them being there. There
are realtors who bought the Myers house probably because they couldn't sell it.
Yeah. And like, their relationship just made me so happy. It just felt like the comic relief and just like, it's like just another story.
Are people
in this
angry
mess.
at this? Are there people like? Are there? I don't know.
I don't think so. I
feel like everyone. There's people are very divided on this movie, but I think everyone kind of agrees. They're kind of like that Big John and Little John. I'm like, yeah, I like them too.
They were great. They were great. Like the one's just kind of high, and the other one, like they had great personality, like a great relationship, and you just felt for them. You're just like they're the only people that died, and I was like, no, no.
But I really like them. Because again, they get a little bit of a character moment. We know
they have character moment. They also have common sense too.
No, they do not have common sense.
They had more common sense than a lot of the others. I mean, if they had real common sense, they would have got out of the fucking house.
I was going to say, no, they killed themselves.
I think they all would have got out of the fucking house. But also, like, the fake out.
Oh, yeah.
That was fantastic. I didn't know where they were going with that.
Yeah, they get tricked by the Silver Shamrock kids who come back from the previous one.
Yeah.
Who I think they had parents in the previous one, whatever. But yeah, they pretend to like barf. And they're like, oh, razor blades are in the candy, but it was just steal their candy, so it was a whole thing.
I thought that was fun. That was a lot of fun seeing that.
So they make up a whole story about how the house is haunted and they call them perverts. It's funny. Yeah. We see at the morgue Dr. Sartain, the evil doctor. We see that he's there, and I think this is the only time we've ever seen a dick in the series. I mean, it's far away, but you just see his dick because he's not covered.
I missed it. I missed a dick?
You can't see it that well.
I missed a fucking dick?
I mean, it's an old, tiny guy's dick, and he's dead. I'm just saying, I can see it.
feel upset that I missed nudity.
Yeah, there's not any nudity in these new ones.
But there's a dick and I missed it.
Yeah.
Wow, what the fuck is wrong with me?
I don't know. You're like Big John and Little John, I guess.
I don't know.
You're Big Crystal and sort of Little Crystal.
No, I hope not. God, no.
Yeah, so he's in the morgue. I like how Karen thinks Michael is out to get them specifically. But then Allison tells the cops, like, no, it was the doctor. I don't think Michael was really concerned with anything.
No, he really doesn't.
When you watch that first one,
though.
I like, because when you watch, when you watch the previous one, they're like, he's waiting for me. And it's like, no, he did not. He did not give a shit about you.
No.
Because again, this version of Michael's not really, it's playing on the audience's expectations Michael wants
it is.
Based off the previous series.
I like that.
But, like, remember, like, he just, in the first one, he just wanted to kill people because he got obsessed with killing his sister.
Yeah.
So he's like, oh, here's more babysitters. I'm going to kill them. His thing is like, I like to kill babysitters and then make Halloween decorations out of them. That's his thing.
Yeah.
Occasionally he'll kill someone for like convenience, like the mechanic in the first movie.
Yeah.
But like his thing is, I like to kill babysitters.
Yeah.
And turn them
into
Halloween.
And they make a point of that at the end of this. Of, I'm an innocent woman, just like your sister, blah, blah, blah. But I do like, I like that, where it's, that actually wasn't the point of Mike Miles. He's just and I like those kind of movies where
I'm sorry, Mike or Miles?
Michael Miles.
Who's Mike or Miles? Is that a different character?
I can't talk.
So yeah, I like their reactions when they find out he's still alive.
Myers.
I love when they find out he's still alive. They're like, what the fuck?
that too. We did it. We did it.
Yeah. So the whole town wants to hunt down Michael Myers, and Allison leaves Laurie the butcher knife, which we mentioned earlier, and she's going to join the militia and just grab a gun from Lonnie's dad. Why is he giving these people guns?
There should be no, but also, why is the cops not
I mean, it is
locking?
there is their Second Amendment right, and I respect that. But
I have a gun.
But he shouldn't, hey, young girl who's never handled a gun before.
That part. But also the other guy also has a gun. He's like, I don't know how to use it. God. That entire scene, I couldn't stand.
Okay. We're getting up to that. That doesn't count as a Michael kill as far as I'm concerned.
That. Right. But anyway.
Okay. Also.
Wait. Why aren't the cops locking down the town at this point? But not even locking it down. He's clearly broken into houses, and this is his thing. He breaks into houses and kills people. At this point, wouldn't you take people to a shelter and kind of go to a lockdown or get everyone out of the town?
I don't know. It depends on the police department. Crystal, we live in Philadelphia. I don't know if you ever heard about the move bombings, but the police, so depending on the department, what year it is, and a lot of things can go wrong. Look up the move bombing. It's our hometown story of the only time the American forces bombed their own citizens. We did it, Philly. We did it.
The city of brotherly love.
And then they just fucked up rebuilding it. And they're like, whatever. It's like, that's kind of shitty to all the people who live there.
Oh my God.
Anyway, so you're putting a lot of faith in this police department.
I know.
And remember, this is a suburban town.
That's what I was just keep thinking.
What they want to do is like the cops in my suburban town where they're like, you went 2 miles over the speed limit? I got to write you a warning. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
The whole town can obviously take over the police department. Yeah. And I guess this is also going into the social commentary of police force against folks, I guess. Town folks.
I like that Michael is stalking the kids and they don't care.
And he keeps trying to play hide and seek with us. Where did you see him?
And then he attacks the car. Poor Marion dies again.
Okay. She says, I have so many issues. And this scene is one of the scenes that pissed me off. And I was like, if there are some scenes that weren't included in this movie, I would actually like it a lot more. Mm. This is one of them. And I was like, there was no point. Because you just needed more kills and more stupid kills. So they're supposed to be going, correct me if I'm wrong. They're going out to tackle Michael. What?
Michael Miles.
I don't know why I can't say it.
Jessica, do a funny Photoshop for Michael Miles. What would Michael Miles look like? Show me that, Jessica. I have confidence in you.
I can't say it. Michael Myers. I don't know why I'm getting tongue-tied. Michael Myers. I don't know why. I'm going to go MM. I don't know why Eminem.
So Austin Powers, okay? Austin Powers.
So, I don't... Where the fuck was I going with this?
Okay. Let me wrap this.
They were trying... No, hold on. Okay. They were going out to go murder him, right? Mm-hmm. They were like, we're going to go team up and be together and go kill him.
Can I talk about that real quick? Tommy Doyle's like, all right, I know how he does. He learns you got to fake him, make him think you're going. I'm like, Tommy, what the fuck do you know about killing serial killers? Like, you ran away from him when you were 6. That's your only experience. And what have you done since then?
I want to know, though, is he technically a serial killer?
Oh, yeah.
I don't think he's technically a serial killer. At least going off of the first movie. And
he was, because he killed more than one people.
I guess in the 2018 one, he'd be technically.
But even the first one, he killed.
Is that what makes you a serial killer?
Well, no, because he killed 4 people in one. His sister was the original one, and then that night he killed 4 people.
I guess because he killed someone before that and then went off. Because isn't it?
Yeah.
Because that would have been almost like a mass murder instead of serial.
Whatever. The point is, what experience does Tommy have?
Oh, he has none.
Which I guess could be a theme. I'm sorry, we have customers in the store. We're closed.
Closed? No service?
I hope that's not my secret evil sister come back to haunt me.
Oh no.
Anyway, so they find the kids, the ones murdered. They all fight him. Marion gets killed again because just in H2O.
But in the stupidest fucking way possible.
Michael just walks in. He's like,
all right, he jumps.
Oh, he does what he did in the original.
Because, well, the one gets out of the car to go tell the kids, like, hey, stop being idiots, go home, where are your parents?
Yeah, Lindsay does that.
Then they see that Michael Myers has the mask, and they're like, oh my God, they killed my friend. They all run. But she should just run at that point. But who has a gun at this point?
Marion has a gun.
Marion has a gun?
The guy who's dressed as a doctor, but he's really a nurse, has a gun.
I thought that was
and then
funny.
the girl dressed as a nurse who's really
She
a doctor.
also has a gun, right?
She has a serious gun. She's like, you know how to use this. I've used this before.
Yes. So all three of them. Yeah, clearly she's used it before.
Yeah, Marion shooting out the windows was so stupid.
That was stupid. Okay. If there's a serial killer that's really, really slow behind your car, I mean, obviously you don't know how slow he is, but either jump in the driver's seat because there's no way the other one's going to get back to the car in time.
Yeah.
Jump in the driver's seat, run him over, or you take off.
Yeah.
Or get out of the fucking car because he doesn't have a gun. He has a fucking knife.
You know what's actually interesting about Michael Myers in the scene? When he breaks the window, I think he breaks the window, right?
He does. Well, he does the mask in the front.
Yeah.
He breaks the window on the side.
Yeah. And you know what's interesting? This time, he didn't need a wrench tied to his hand like in the original Halloween. By the way, I've got the first 5 movies. I've always seen the wrench.
40 or 20K or
4K. No, we're not at 20K yet. But yeah, when you watch it in 4K, it's like there's a wrench. By the way, also in Halloween 4, watching that in 4K, there's a scene where like Dr. Loomis at the end is talking, and he's just got one tiny hair that's sticking out that I've never seen before until I saw it in 4K.
Maybe I don't want to see it in 4K. I would be nitpicking all of that. So he jumps in the car and he starts. Why in these movies they have tons and tons of weapons, but never enough ammo or even just an extra thing of ammo just to reload? Why do they never, ever, ever have ammo? Don't you think you'd be packing your pockets with that shit?
Instead of just having a couple? I guess it's like whoever, like, the guy probably didn't bring all his ammo to give out to people. I don't know.
But that would be, if you're going out hunting someone, like, when people go hunting, they bring extra ammo. Like, should be a normal thing.
Here's the real problem with the scene.
Oh, there's so many of them.
The knife to the eye is pretty brutal. I didn't like it.
Why?
Oh, it went underneath the
eye. It did go underneath.
But I didn't like that.
But also, so the nurse, the girl gets out of the car.
I fucking lost it.
But doesn't the guy doesn't try shooting Michael Myers at all.
Because he does know how to use the gun. I think that was.
But at that point, when she's losing bullets, wouldn't he hand her the gun?
I don't know.
There's another gun that's never used in the car, and 2 people get murdered. Okay. So she gets out of the car.
We've lingered on this scene too much. We got to get to this one part.
Listen, I hate the scene.
The best part is when the wife comes back to shoot him.
And she's shooting so far away. and missing every single one of them.
Michael just kicks the door and goes, and she shoots herself. And I was like, you know what? That doesn't count as a Michael kill to me.
I laughed.
That is actually an accident. That is not a Michael kill.
I was like, did that just happen?
Yeah. Lindsay tries to hit him with a bag of bricks. It does not go well, but she gets away. But
does she not have a gun?
I don't think she did.
The other 3 have a gun. She doesn't?
Yeah, I don't think she did. That's why when they were fighting, she was.
Why doesn't she just? But also, hits him with a bag of bricks, and then she's running, and I was like, okay, she's definitely gonna get away.
Yeah.
And then she hides, but he's clearly walking really slow.
Yeah.
Bitch, if you kept running, you would have outran him miles. Just you run from him. You can outrun him.
She wanted to hide instead. But Lonnie and Tommy show up and they find all the dead bodies because I guess he went back to make decorations out of them. And I guess Lindsay was just
Which I was very confused because he walked across the bridge.
He probably walked back.
And then he just walked back and then there's just enough time to make them into decorations?
Yes.
That's a lot to do right there.
Yes, it is. He's a very, very busy man.
He's really slow. And he went all the way from the car to grab each. Did he break them all at once? Did he do one at a time?
Yeah, he picked them up like this.
Like that?
Yeah.
And then, gotcha.
Miles Miker. What was his name? Miker Miles. He showed up. His brother, Miker Miles, showed up and helped him. He's like, what's up, bro?
Oh, that's what it is? Oh, Jesus.
Okay. Laurie is laying on her side after her gut surgery. Yep. Also, she said she always liked Will Patton's character, and Will Patton's like, you always had a thing for Ben Tramer. So I think in this universe, Ben Tramer survived, and he might be one of her ex-husbands.
That's what I was curious. Like, they're having this story, and I'm like now trying to piece that.
I hope Ben Tramer's still alive.
But why wouldn't he? Maybe he just moved. Maybe he went somewhere else, I guess. Just doesn't exist.
I don't know. They said she was married twice, I think. In the previous one. She had 2 failed marriages.
Oh, yeah, she did. Yeah.
Yeah. The town turns into an angry mob, and Laurie finds out finally that Michael is alive. She's like, what the? How? How is that possible? And then she theorizes maybe.
Oh, this is when I hear "Evil dies tonight." Sorry.
Yeah.
This is when I start hearing.
That's when they all start chanting it. But then
Evil dies tonight.
She theorizes maybe the only way he could die is if I die too.
Oh, because this is when she finds out. Yeah, he's bad. Yeah.
That's probably what's gonna happen in the next film. I think that's probably what's gonna happen.
I thought that too.
So yeah.
As long as she has a better death than she did in the other one, and
I'll see you in hell.
I'll see you in hell.
So Big John and Little John, they find out that someone is in their home, and they decide to pick up knives and find out who's in their home. Just go away.
How did he get from the back door to the front door and then back upstairs?
I told you, like that skit, he just runs.
I want to know that because there was like a knock on the back door and then not long after a front door, and I was like, he's not that fast, and now he's upstairs. Like,
yeah,
okay.
He's like a ninja.
Oh.
Yeah, so they decide they're gonna use knives to fight the person like idiots. And then back at the hospital is when the other inmate shows up and he's like, help me, my brain doesn't work. And they're all like,
the kill's happening. You don't see, or the
No, the kill, it's cutting back and forth. But then the hospital's just like, that must be Michael Myers.
Which makes no sense. No sense.
Yeah, well, I don't have a problem with the other townspeople thinking it's Michael Myers. I'm still not at the part where I scream bullshit. So yeah, now we cut back to Big John, Little John.
But how is everyone in the town in this hospital? Because that hospital got slammed with people, and this doesn't look like a big town.
Yeah.
So how the fuck is there that many people?
It looks like a big town. They showed that like establishing shot earlier on. In the 78 thing where you see like how big it actually is.
Maybe. But it just seems like everyone in town is at this hospital. Why would they be in the hospital in the first place? Why? Did they all be like, let's all go to the hospital for no reason?
Well, it's Halloween.
That's what you do on Halloween? Go to hospitals?
Maybe they got into fights and did crimes. I don't know. Listen, point is, Big John, Little John, they're gonna save their house.
Yeah. These were probably my favorite kills, though.
Yeah, Big John or Little John.
It was
which one's
John.
Michael McDonald?
He's Little John.
He's Little John.
He's Little John.
Big John gets stabbed in the armpit, and then he gets his eyes fucking gouged out.
That was an awesome kill.
Strong disagree. Little John sees this, and I love how he just assumes it's Michael Myers.
Yeah.
He's like, Michael, you've come home. What we should do is walk in, see the dead body, go, ah, and then run away screaming.
Yeah.
Instead, he goes, you've come home. It's like, were you expecting him? What the fuck's this shit?
Yeah.
Run away, you asshole.
Why does everyone, when you realize he's going home, it's as if it's the most obvious answer every time?
It's like, oh, didn't he do that last time?
Okay, so he did this. We'll get to this.
What they should have done is chop up the home into sections and move it down the street like the real house. You ever been to the Myers house?
I haven't.
I have.
Where's it at?
You know what's actually funny? The hardware store that's being investigated by Sheriff Brackett in Halloween.
Yeah.
You know when he meets Dr. Loomis?
Yeah.
The Myers house is now right next to it. A chiropractor owned it for years and he liked the house, but they demolished the street that it was on. So he had it like chopped up and moved down the street. So now it's the hardware store and the Myers house. But now it's a real estate thing. I went there, I visited it. I peeked in the backyard and they do have like a Michael Myers thing. I guess
cool.
Maybe they open it up on occasion, but it's a real estate.
Maybe like a Halloween kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
It's like painted blue now and everything.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's like a weird thing. They just moved the house. And not even because it was Halloween. I think they just moved the house because the guy liked it. It's weird.
That is weird.
Now when I watch the first movie, it's so distracting because I'm like, it's weird knowing that like, oh, now the Myers house is there. That's bizarre. Anyway.
Yeah.
That's what they should do. They should just move to Myers' house.
And then everything's solved?
And Michael will be like, what the fuck?
Really confusing, doesn't know how to get home. What the fuck?
You know what
you just see him spinning in circles.
You know what they should do? They should change it to a weird old Victorian house like they did in 5. What the fuck was that in Halloween 5? I'm like,
no, thank you.
Like, what is this house?
Yeah, thank you.
This is so clearly not his house.
No, thank you.
Anyway, the mob is angry and they're out for blood. And it's not listening to like Karen and them saying, hey, it's not him. It's not him. They're just ignoring it because they just need a scapegoat. So they're going after this guy. This is like, in between this is when Hawkins tells the story of how he stopped. I was
just thinking
which they mentioned in the previous one, but now they showed it where
now
he stopped Loomis from killing Michael. But it's like, wait a minute, Loomis was just going to execute Michael, and the cops are like, okay. I'm like, I don't think that's how that works.
That's not how that works.
I do like that Michael at that point was like, yeah, I'm probably not getting out of this one. I'm just going to stop. Like, he's just like,
yeah, he's like, all right, I'm done.
I'm done.
Which doesn't make sense with what he does later.
It's weird he didn't kill anyone in the sanitarium for 40 years.
Yeah, that makes no sense either if he's able to do what he does later.
Yeah, anyway.
Like, but, okay, so this murder kills your friends, people you love and stuff like literally you kill your friend, your other partner because of this guy and you decide to save him because of guilt. I don't think that, to me, I was like, this doesn't seem like the right kind of
also
guilt.
He was stopping a citizen from killing another citizen. It's like, you have a right to stand trial and everything. I think
but that wasn't his reasoning.
Yeah,
that wasn't his reasoning. It's because of his guilt.
Yeah, I know. But, and then I think there is when they were like, yeah, we're just going to say your partner shot himself on accident so you don't get in trouble. Whatever. So
I was like, there are some things I was like, just didn't. I was like, that part wasn't needed. Like,
yeah.
And no one cares.
So Karen finds the insane guy and she tries to save him. And this is like the most heartbreaking scene. It's the saddest death. And it has, it's Michael Myers has indirectly caused this. I like how Laurie's like, this is his masterpiece. Like, he's filled the town full of fear, which is what he wants to do because he just really loves scaring people on Halloween.
That's not, he's not that smart that this is his master plan.
Maybe he is.
This
version of Michael Myers, which is some superior being, whatever.
No, he just wants to go to his house so he can look outside the window. It doesn't seem like he wants anything else. And kill in the way.
No, but even in the first one, he went to his house and then left to kill people and went back.
Came back, killed some people.
But, so the guy gets like cornered like an animal. And then he's like sad and he just fucking jumps out the window.
And no one caught him either. They all moved out of the way.
Well, yeah. What the fuck are you going to do?
Try and catch him. It was a giant group of people.
They're going to get hurt. This isn't wrestling. He's not jumping off the turnbuckle, Crystal. Anyway. Yeah, so and then they show like the aftermath of him splatter. And that's again another weird like.
That was an interesting kill.
I'm like that because there's like fun gore like with him and the firefighters, and this just felt like
messy,
like mean, realistic gore. And I'm like, well, which one do you want to do, movie? Because I'm a little thrown off.
I didn't.
And it's even sadder because apparently that actor died this year.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Didn't he play? How many other movies did he play in? He played in a good amount. Didn't he?
So apparently he's like a stunt guy. He's not credited on IMDb with a lot of roles, but I guess he was in a lot of things.
Okay.
But yeah, I couldn't really find a lot about him. All I know is apparently he died in 2021. I think May 2021.
Oh shit!
I didn't even get to live to see the movie. Bummer. So that just makes the scene sadder.
He died before he could see his
death scene. I guess. I mean, I guess he got to see his actual death, depending on how it happened, unless he was asleep. It's pretty grim. See, this was like a fun review, and now I changed the tone by being a little too realistic, much
just
like the
Halloween
movie.
Kills. They just did not know where.
Yeah.
Was it like the Halloween? Was the Laurie plot just not enough for them to where they had to fill it in?
By the way, I don't know if you noticed, Laurie doesn't have any scenes with Michael in this. There's a couple flashbacks to the first movie, and that's it. This is one of the few movies where the main protagonist and antagonist are never together. The only ones that I can think of are Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan. Kirk and Khan are never on the same thing together. They only talk through the view screen. And I think Fifth Element, I don't think Bruce Willis ever meets Gary Oldman's character in Fifth Element. And they're the main good and bad guy. And there's one point where one gets on an elevator and another one gets off. So I don't even think Bruce Willis even knows who like Zurg is.
No.
Yeah. But this is one of those movies. Well, they've met before.
Well, at least in this one, yeah.
Yeah.
But like she...
But
and she almost got out of the hospital because she stuck herself with a giant fucking needle. That was also super dramatic.
I do like that she like beats up a guy, but then her like wound splits open. So like, okay, because if she was just magically like, it's not a fucking video game.
No.
Now this is the scene that pissed me off. Tommy Doyle going, he's always worn a mask. How do we know it's not him? Okay, first off, Smiths Grove is a state-run hospital. We saw that the news was able to get pictures of the inmates because it's probably public record. If they were so obsessed with Michael, they would have pictures of him updated. They would know what he looks like. Also, Tommy knows that Michael Myers has a bum eye from being stabbed with the thing and a fucking hole in his neck and is like 1.5 feet taller. Like he knows that.
That was the biggest thing was
and no one told him, oh, by the way, he's not wearing his inmate outfit. He got someone should have said, maybe someone said, oh, he's wearing overalls and the white mask. He's like, he can't, that's too coincident. That's impossible. Like, you expect me to believe that?
It makes no sense.
Any other character. The fact that Tommy said, I'm like, no, you should know better.
Tommy should know better. The cop.
The Sheriff Brackett.
Yes.
I mean, he does figure it out. He's like,
he eventually figures it out, but they're all chasing this guy who, yes, I get it. Michael Myers is very slow. I get it. But this guy is clearly not fit to murder all these people.
Also.
He's also asking for help.
Yeah.
He's really short.
If he's sick. Again, I guess if Tommy's not keeping up to date with what he looks like, maybe he could be just be like, oh, maybe when you're older, you get smaller sometimes. Probably not going to happen to you, but people like me get smaller.
Oh, okay. I mean, you are like 82.
Yes. So I had a really rough life with my evil sister.
I don't know how you went through all that.
So he's always worn a mask. Tommy, he wore a mask once when he was 6 and once again when he was 21 and tonight. You've only ever saw him that one time when he was 21. What is his That's why sometimes it feels like this is a sequel to like 10 Halloween movies.
Yes, it does. It does.
And it's like, but this is not a sequel. Well, I guess it technically is.
He hasn't always worn a mask. That's not true at all.
Stick to your continuity. Another rewrite.
There is so many.
Another rewrite would have been fine.
No.
Anyway, we're nearing the end of this.
By
the way, short movie. Hour and 45 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
This review is probably going to be longer than the fucking thing.
Because it's so fucking messy.
So they all get philosophical about why Michael does what he does. And you mentioned it earlier. It's like, I thought Michael was looking out the window, but he was looking in at the evil inside. And then Karen's looking out the window and she sees her reflection. Whatever. This will probably all be.
Because they also, this is when they realize that where would he go? Back to his home.
And then Lonnie's like, this is what he does. He kills and he goes back home. Like, he only done it once 40 years ago.
Also,
how do you know he hasn't changed his plan? How do you know he even remembers the way home?
Yes. And
again,
Lonnie,
what if you moved his house next to the hardware shop?
But Lonnie, if you knew this in the beginning, why did you have all the townspeople go all over the place? Why didn't you just go there first?
Well, he didn't want to upset Big John and Little John.
Oh.
Before we get into the flashback sequences, I have a problem with flashback Haddonfield.
Okay.
It's supposed to be a nice, like, Illinois town, but I didn't see one palm tree. It just didn't feel like the Haddonfield in the original film. There's not one palm tree. Where are all the palm trees?
Yeah, that's a normal thing.
Where are the schools that are separate buildings, not connected by a hallway because they don't have to worry about rain? Like in Illinois. Illinois never has to worry about rain.
No, not at all, with palm trees.
I had no idea about that until I got older. I'm like, oh yeah, there's no hallways in the school. It's just little buildings because they don't have to worry about being rained. I'm like, well, Illinois has a great. For those of you who don't know, the original one was shot mostly in Pasadena.
Yep.
Yeah, so fucking Lonnie gets to the house and he's like, I can't believe I brought my son here. He's like, you two stay here. I'm gonna go in. If you see trouble, honk the horn. It's like, call fucking, hey, I think he's at the house. Let's get the mob. Let's all go into the house together. with all our guns.
Literally, when they pulled up to the house, I was like, why is he just going in by himself? Why do we think that's a good idea? Why?
So they can separate him and show a spooky body later. Which, by the way, Michael gets him in that fucking crawl space thing really quick. Also, did he fucking like jump and shove him up there? Did he have a ladder?
Yeah, that was really quick, really fast. Yeah.
But this is
didn't he shoot? He shot him. Because you hear a shot. You hear a gunshot.
Hear a gunshot.
Oh, maybe he could have tried to shoot him.
Yeah, he probably tried to shoot him and got killed. So they break in. Fucking Cameron gets mangled horribly on the staircase.
Oh,
Allison breaks her leg. I like when Michael on the way down sees the head and he's like, "Oh, I'm not done yet." And then he just goes back was upsetting.
I love when Allison though sees Little and Big John.
Oh, yeah, and they framed him like the picture.
And the record's playing and stuff.
Do you think Michael felt guilty when he saw the picture? He's like, oh, they do look like a cute couple. Gotta stare out the window now.
Yeah. But also, she drops her weapon and goes over to them. They're clearly dead, bitch. Run out or be prepared to shoot. Because Michael is obviously in the house.
Yeah.
You hear the record player playing.
Yeah.
Randomly. Why are you
call
dropping your weapon?
Call someone.
Also, she grabbed, that's what I was thinking of when I was thinking of the 2018. This is the one where she just randomly knows how to load a shotgun and knows how to work a shotgun.
I guess.
And also there's you get 2 shots, no extra ammo. You're like, okay, these are gonna be my 2 lucky shots.
They're all idiots, Crystal. She gets saved by her mom, who then takes Michael's mask and runs away. And I like that they set a trap with the whole town. And you think he's going to give up like he did in the 70s?
Yeah.
But I guess he's just like, but because there's a whole thing where like the more fear he causes, the more lives he takes, makes him stronger.
During this, Laurie's talking over it and making it really dramatic.
I did like seeing the town beat the shit out of him. And it's become a meme. There's a whole Facebook page right now dedicated to the girl who brought an iron to the fight.
I didn't see that.
There's just, everyone's got like wrenches and bats, and there's one girl with just an iron. And there's a whole Facebook page. They're like, the girl who brought an iron to the Michael Myers fight. She's like, like this is all I have. I have an iron.
Oh my God.
It's not even plugged in, so it's not even like I burn it. Fucking Sheriff Brackett's callback. Everyone's entitled to one good scare. I'm like, that line doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't.
You just want him to say it because it's an iconic line and he's the guy who said it, but it doesn't make sense here.
But
I do like that Karen says gotcha again.
I do like that one a lot.
But you know what? You know what makes me really mad?
What?
And I was really mad Laurie didn't say this in the previous film when she goes, Happy Halloween, Michael. Not one person could say trick or treat, motherfucker. Not one person.
Not one person.
Do you know what the original ending of Halloween Resurrection was? The guy that she was texting online.
Yeah.
The white nerdy guy.
Yeah.
Who helps her. He was going to save her at the end. And then some genius was like, that's fucking stupid. You better bring Busta Rhymes back. So when you watch Halloween Resurrection.
Yeah.
Do it freeze frame. When the door gets kicked down, you see the white kid, and then it cuts to Busta Rhymes.
That's amazing.
Because I guess they were like, well, we're not going to shoot the door breaking down scene again.
That's amazing.
They couldn't get Busta Rhymes for this scene.
I think that would have made it. I actually probably would have been like, you know what? That was a good ending.
I love the original Laurie Strode series. You know, it's like 3 movies about this girl being haunted by her brother, and it ends with Busta Rhymes doing karate. Fucking love Halloween Resurrection. Yeah. This movie feels
I do like the Resurrection because it was so stupid, but it was
This movie feels like Halloween Resurrection to me, where I'm like, this movie's not great. It's kind of dumb, but I'm loving every second of it.
This is not Resurrection. So I think actually Resurrection was dumb, and we know it was dumb, and it was fun, and it was stupid. This is just playing and trying so goddamn hard, and don't you think this town would own a lot more guns? Why would they bring a whole bunch of bats?
Well, they're all facing each other. You don't want to shoot facing each other.
But they just...
Then again, they've been idiots the whole movie, so I'm surprised they didn't.
But the one guy did have a gun. The one guy did have a gun.
Oh, right, and Michael's like... All right, so Michael just starts fighting back. So Karen thinks she killed him. And then he just
stabs him in the back. No one stabs him in the head. No one tries cutting off his head.
By the way, so I thought it would have been good if like we never saw him fighting back. if like Karen went to her daughter thinking he was dead, and then like it cut back and like all their bodies are there. But because this movie is excessive and over the top, it's Michael Myers doing karate on everyone.
That I was just like, what?
He's like, whoa, he's just murdering
everyone.
He beat poor Tommy Doyle.
Like, they all take turns about to go beat him up, and it reminded me actually of the Mars attack scene. That's what it reminds me of. When they're about to fight, and it was just...
And they all gang up, and you think the guy died, but then it turns out he did it.
Yes.
Yeah, so Michael killed fucking everyone.
But everyone's just taking their time and be like, my turn to get murdered. My turn to get murdered.
Action movie logic. They don't gang up. They fight one at a time.
That's what it was.
And they wait in a circle. It's like, okay.
But, so no cops are there?
No, they stopped caring about the cops. Remember the sheriff was like, I give up.
And they just go over to the Myers house. Well, it used to be the Myers house.
Yeah. Oh, there was one thing I liked. This one little callback. So earlier in the movie, when they're mourning the death of their dad, they're like, he'll always be with us, even when we can't see him. And then they repeat it again, but this time they're referring to Michael Myers. So the whole thing, Laurie's just like, Michael Myers is not a mortal man. He is a curse. He is evil incarnate, tied to the holiday or whatever, and fluffy dialogue. But I thought this cliffhanger is pretty good. He fucking murders the shit out of Karen.
In
his sister's room.
I did not expect that because that was really quick.
Yes.
That was really quick. And I was like, he's not
and I like that she's looking out the window. And
I did like.
And Laurie's looking out a window. Presumably, you can assume that maybe this is later and she sees her daughter being wheeled in. And then ends with Michael looking out a window. How it was originally going to end.
Ooh.
Remember the last movie? It ended with Allison. She was holding the knife, and then it zoomed in on the knife.
Yeah.
Like a freeze frame.
Yeah.
How this one was going to end was Laurie was going to grab the knife that her granddaughter left for her, and she was going to leave the hospital, and they were going to zoom in on the knife. But apparently the director said he didn't want to mislead people into thinking that the third film would also be on the same night. Because it kind of assumes like
that would assume it. I would assume.
I think that's why they added the dialogue. They're like, maybe we won't get him tonight. Maybe we'll get him next time.
And I thought that was interesting. I was like, okay,
it makes the knife setup a little weird now. Like I would have just
they
cut
don't
it
call
off.
back to that knife.
Because if it had ended on that, just cut out the setup for that knife. Because I thought that was weird.
That entire setup for the knife, because then maybe Allison took the knife with her or something like that. It was just there was so much setup for that, and then nothing happened. There was no payoff.
But yeah, no, I think it's definitely got an interesting
My
cliffhanger.
last note on this was dumb. It just says the word dumb.
Yeah, I had fun with it. It's having fun. It's trying different things, I guess.
It tried different things. I just think it was really, really messy. It tried too hard to be something. It tried to add more of a commentary into it.
Yeah.
With the
a little
town.
messy with the commentary. But here's the thing. I'm not like angry.
I'm not angry.
A lot of people are angry at this movie.
I wouldn't be angry. I wouldn't be angry at that. I think if you don't, it depends on how obsessed you are with Halloween, I think as well. Like how hardcore of a fan you are. If you just kind of like Halloween, and you're like, hey, it's a decent series. I enjoy it, and you watch the 2018 one and you're like, oh, I like this. Yeah. This is a really good follow-up.
It's fun.
Because it ties up a lot of loose ends that the first one gave you a lot of questions to.
Yeah.
Was it done well?
Hit or miss?
Yeah, hit or miss. Was there a lot of questions and you're just kind of like, what the fuck? Do we need all that? No.
Here's the thing. Like after the Rob Zombie one, it's going to take a lot for me to get angry at a Halloween movie again, because it's like...
It already disappointed you. They already have Halloween movies that disappointed you, so how much more can they disappoint you?
Oh no, another bad Halloween movie.
Yeah.
Oh no. But people need to relax. I see you have some Halloween movies there.
I do. My goal is actually to have all the Halloween movies.
Well, Crystal, wait, which Halloween movies do you have on DVD?
Oh, I'll go through it. Okay, you ready?
Before
These are all mine. Yeah. Well, I got the best one, Halloween 3.
Ooh.
Whoa. You're right there.
Halloween 2, signed by Bud and the nurse from the hot tub scene.
I do love that title with the pumpkin. I really do love that.
I'm just annoyed that is from Halloween 1 and this is from Halloween 6. Anyway.
That's like some of the Friday the 13th little continuity things. I'm like, it pisses me off. So I have Halloween 3. I don't even know.
That looks like the 3-pack, the Dimension.
This is. It was like $7 on Amazon, and I was like, fuck it.
What is that, 6, 7, and...
I could have just looked at the back instead of opening it up like an idiot.
Is it 6, 7, and Resurrection?
H2O, Resurrection, and the Curse of Michael Myers.
Michael Miles.
Michael Myers.
Michael Miles. I really want to know what Michael Miles looks like. Okay.
But I also have Resurrection here as well, because why don't you want all these phenomenal looking people? Right? Oh, shit. You know the best part of this one? It has a lot of special features.
Yep,
like a commentary track.
I watched the special features.
And the deleted. I love DVDs. I have to stop streaming things and just buy DVDs.
Did you ever see the deleted scene of Michael showing up at his house in Resurrection?
No.
He shows up in a nice like red sports car, and when he gets out, he like locks it. He's like beep beep.
I have to see that. Webcam special.
Yeah, they show the webcams from the movie.
Tour of the set, on set with Jamie Lee Curtis.
What's the one you have down there? The last one.
Well, I also have Halloween.
The 2018.
And then for $2.99, Halloween 2, Family is Forever.
Wait, you only have Rob Zombie's Halloween 2?
Because I found it in a thrift store.
Well, Crystal, I got good news.
What?
My one friend got this movie because his mom thought he would like it, not knowing that we hated the fucking movie. and then he lent it to my sister, and I said, get this out of my house, and he would never accept it back. And then I threw it in the video store because I don't want it anywhere near my collection. And now I give it to you. Halloween, the unrated director's cut by Rob Zombie.
I will cherish this gift from you forever.
It's awful.
I will never watch it.
I'll
just keep it with my collection.
There you go.
My collection of things I'll never watch. There's
okay.
Special Features has its own DVD.
Yes. Anyway, that was it for Halloween Kills. God, we've been going for a while. We still have to do a commentary track.
Oh, shit. That's right.
What time is it?
I don't know.
Are we going to have time? Are you good to do it?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
I don't sleep.
We're going to do a commentary track for Halloween 3. The season. What the? Oh.
It's my shirt.
I was like, Jesus Christ, Crystal, this is a family show.
It's my shirt, guys.
Okay. Jesus Christ.
Ooh, look at this Halloween 2 cover.
I think that's Justin's. That's not mine. Yes.
It.
We will do a
really
commentary track for Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. You'll see what we have to say about that. And I hope my evil sister never shows up again and ruins another Halloween for me. Ha! I got you! Evil sister I didn't know I had all those years ago who's been trying to kill me. Now you're gonna burn. Evil dies tonight. Fucking Elon Musk. Well, shit.